Welcome to the first episode of StreamCast with me, James Rutherford, also known as Charizard James, on Twitch and other social media platforms, where we take a deep dive into the lives of all your favorite streamers and content creators. Join with us today is the prolific Magic the Gathering creator, DZMTG. Take a minute to introduce yourself.
All right. Well, already out the gate, big shoes to fill. Prolific. I mean, I don't know about that. I guess I stream a decent amount. I guess I make a decent amount of TikToks. I guess I make some memes. Yeah. So DZMTG is the name. Wearing a green suit is my game. I stream on Twitch about 7 days a week. MTG TikTok King, probably what most people know me as, and budding but growing YouTube channel and Twitter account. Also, the King of MTG Memes on Twitter.
Is that your official Twitter name, King of MTG Memes?
It should be. It's the unofficial title.
It's the okay. You just make titles for yourself, and it's fine. No, DZMTG.
Well, I printed it on a T-shirt, so it's kind of official.
Oh, if you print it on a T-shirt, it is official.
Yeah, and when I say printed, I actually mean wrote with a Sharpie. But it's the same thing.
Official, wrote with a Sharpie. What's the difference, really? So talk to me about TikTok. Talk to me about your Chandra and your Jace costumes. Like you have these like personas.
Yeah, a lot of people wonder where that came from. It was basically just lounging with. It was what I had lounging around. I was never supposed to have a blonde wig. I bought a Chandra wig for. I want to say it was a pre-release day. One of the MTG content managers over at Wizards of the Coast, they got them something. It's like, all right, so the people doing the pre-release event, I would love to see Chandra cosplay. So I was like, all right, let me order a Chandra wig. And they sent me a blonde wig. I was like, that's not right. So I didn't even I actually was like, well, must have just got something wrong out of the warehouse. I'll reorder. Sent me a second blonde wig. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then, so I finally reordered, got the right wig. So I just had a Chandra wig and a blonde wig lying around. I think it was within the 5th video. Yeah, I ended up throwing it on. I don't even know why. I think I was pretending to be an aggro character. I was like, all right, let me throw on this red wig. I'll throw on a red hoodie that I have lying around. And then it just took off. People were like, oh my God, I love your aggro character. So then I made a control character and just give the people what they want. It was never something I started out meaning to do. It just kind of evolved naturally. And the archetypes, aggro and control, just the easiest things to make fun of in Magic. If you try to make fun of mid-range, it's just like, well, what does it even mean? Different people have different definitions. What I'm going to say, you have a value-based engine deck. Ooh, burn! It's not really a punchline that you could say, but aggro, it's like, haha, mountain go burr, forest go burr. Control player, easy to make fun of. A Drago. It's just easy people to make fun of. Those low-hanging fruit. I'm a hack. Just searching for the low-hanging fruit. That was all.
You can't say mid-range go burr?
No, you cannot.
I have my value-based engine. What are your favorite kinds of decks to play? Do you go for the aggro, or do you go for the control, or do you just play whatever you feel like?
I like aggro tempo-based strategies. I like combat tricks, kind of like Embercleave, but cheaper stuff. I would prefer to do Teamer Battle Rages, Gore Clan Rampagers, Boros Charm, Double Strike, stuff like that. Before Modern got as big as it was, this was back when Pod was a thing. I used to like to do a Tainted Strike, random infect triggers, stuff like that. Just nice combat tricks. I kind of like a tempo, like Vapor Snag, stuff like that.
Doesn't really
but control aggro. I mean, it's whatever.
Doesn't really sound like you're a 9 lives player.
No, not really. Combo can be fun. I mean, that's a different kind of combo deck. I don't like to try to go too convoluted when I'm streaming. So I don't like crazy combo decks where I gotta essentially just concentrate for the next 30 seconds because I'm worried about my clock. I like to interact with chat and be a little more jovial, a little more carefree. And I don't like to do the sweat decks, where I gotta sit here and be quiet, and I don't want to name names, but we've all watched an MPL streamer or two, and then they're just sitting there staring at their screen for 40 seconds, and you're like, I've watched this stream, and this person has literally not said one word. and chat's going, I mean, things have happened. They've drawn 2 cards, they've gone through a combat. They're not even talking. They're just sitting there.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
that's, to me, I'd rather play something a little bit easier, even if it means a slightly lower win percentage or people might judge me because of it. I'd rather play something where I can not have to go try hard mode the whole time.
How about a convoluted combo deck? Does that fall into that spectrum?
Yeah, that definitely falls into it. Like the main deck I don't really like to play too much is like Graveyard God Pharaoh's Gifts, stuff like that, where like you're sitting here and you have to like pull up your graveyard of 23 cards and you're scrolling and the clock's ticking and people are chatting and your turn's ending and you're just I'm gonna want to read chat. I'm gonna want to interact with chat. So let me just tweak my play style while I'm streaming Arena to fit that.
In the ropes going and you're sweating and but you need to make this.
Yeah,
You
the
make
beads
every
of sweat.
play. Yeah, you need to make every play perfect.
No, I must get every piece of value. Every trigger must hit. Every little point of damage counts. No, just mountains go burr. I'll do that instead.
I untapped the wrong lands with my Teferi Hero of Dominaria. Now I don't have double blue and double white up. I lose now.
Right, exactly. Oh my god, I didn't manually tap the whatever. Yeah, definitely give me something where I can interact with chat and we can have more of a good time versus watching streamer go hard, and then be quiet for 40 seconds.
That's actually something interesting to note that you said that you want to play a deck while you're streaming that lets you interact with the chat. A lot of people and streamers that I've come into contact with have said, and I've even felt this myself, like, how do I play this deck? But then if I do this, or if I do this certain play, then I'll be frustrated because my time's going down. I have to think about a bunch of different things, and then my chat's asking me 3 questions, but my chat's really what's important. I want to answer them. This game doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things,
Yeah. Well, the easiest way I put it is I'm a streamer first, Magic player second.
Yeah, that's a really good mindset to adapt. I've heard before that people think that you can't be a pro player in a game and be a streamer at the same time. There's probably a very, very few 0.001% of the population that can do that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Yellow Hat, or he might be able to do something like that. I've never seen a streamer that I've watched for an extended period of time interact with chat and not make a punt every now and then. Like I've always seen 1 point of damage left on the table or something. There's literal world champions you can watch if you want to watch someone silent mode, try hard mode. I'm not going to try to compete. I'm not going to name names, but I'm not going to try to compete with world champions when it comes to a strategy based stream because I don't have the name recognition, or perhaps pretty obviously I probably don't have the skill of a world champion. Maybe I can nip at their heels, but it's a payoff, and I chose what I chose.
Yeah, I'm sure if you wanted to become one of the best, you could, but maybe you wouldn't be able to focus on your stream that much, or maybe not.
Yeah,
Even, or maybe not even stream at
all. And that's another thing. I mean, it's not often you see the people that hit number 1 do it on stream. And they may hold it for a while, but it's really not that often that you'll run across them. A random MPL member, random rival member. You look and they're like, oh, surprise, surprise! They're not streaming. They're sitting here at home, probably sitting in the dark, try-harding. And I mean, it's a fact that multitasking while playing Magic is going to make it harder to concentrate on the game. I mean, you can't concentrate on the game and then say, all right, read this, respond to 2 of the 3 things that have said, and then blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I mean, it's going to break your concentration. I don't know anyone that can play better because of that. I don't think it's really a thing.
I was actually talking to someone that was talking about Hearthstone ladder system in the same way of Magic's ladder system. And they were saying that, all the pro players play Hearthstone and they're really, really up high in the ladder. And I was telling them, I was like, in Magic, even when you get like super high mythic, there's only like a certain number of people you play against, and like a few of them are like, you can tell when you're playing against a pro player if you know their arena tag or handle or whatever you want to call it. But most of the people they're just not on the ladder.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, some of them will talk down about it. And part of me wonders, like, well, how much of that is an inability of these top players to hit number one? I've actually heard, I think he won't mind me saying it, Jeremy Bertioni, I think that's the right way to say his last name. He was in Team Lotus Box, and he said he had a lot easier time playing paper versus arena. Something about just the fact about sitting at a computer, other things going on. He said the only way he could actually like not punt and misplay was to crank the in-game volume up super loud and just try to focus on the game. But yeah, he was saying paper is much easier.
There's a different aspect of paper too that you can't get on arena. There's how many times have you said to yourself when you like misplay an arena or something happens, you're like, that would never happen in paper?
No, I would actually say to me, it's not so much what I miss or what I don't do. I hate when they kind of hold your hand and not let you miss triggers. And then there's times where it's like, you know what? I bet the opponent might have missed that. But Arena pointed it out with a big highlighting thing and said, acknowledge this before you move forward. I prefer paper. All my best tournament results have been in paper. Nothing like I've won a GP or anything like that, but I mean, I've definitely sat across the table with someone in paper and see them miss a trigger, but Arena, would have pointed it out.
Like, hey, by the way, there's a glowing card in your hand. Do you want to play that or not?
Yeah,
Arena kind of screams that out to you in a way. I remember when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and there was two different websites to play Yu-Gi-Oh on. There was one that like a lot of people played on, and one that kind of like not a lot of people played on. Because the one that the least amount of players played on kind of held your hand the same way Arena does and says, don't forget to play this card. You can play it. You're available to play this card in your hand. But in paper, you wouldn't. They might not even think about the fact that they could do that action or hit that trigger or use that witch's oven in that situation or sacrifice this food in this situation. Sometimes might just miss it.
If you want to be a rule shark, sometimes it's like them little things. Pact and Negation is a perfect example. You got to pay 5 mana after you cast it. If you draw the card, you lose the game. And then there's people who draw a card, then tap their 5, and you'd be like, Judge, he drew the card, he lost. I mean, if I'm in a big paper tournament, I'm going to be that person saying, Judge, you drew your card, you lost. But Arena is going to stop. Do you want to pay the 5?
Yeah, that's a big thing. How many people do you think would miss the Pact of Negation trigger in paper, and Arena says highlight pay the 5? It's probably a larger number.
I mean,
than
the
think.
noobs. I think there'd be a lot of people who think they can, even if they remember. There's going to be a lot of people who draw the card and then try to pay. Just little things like that.
Yeah, it's super little things. So let's go back to TikTok now. What are okay? This is probably going to be. I'm interested to see what your answer is. If you had any of memorable or one of your favorite TikToks, or maybe even your favorite one. What would it be? Like, what was the situation? What would you do?
My favorite one's probably the first one that blew up. I think it was my third one, fourth one, something like that. I had a former Wizards of the Coast employee that has 10,000 followers or something like that, retweeted on Twitter and said, there needs to be more MTG TikToks. And then it got retweeted hundreds of times, 1,000 times, something crazy. It was seen tens of thousands of times. And I had never expected anything like that. I think my previous one was viewed 100 times or 80 times. I had maybe like 100 followers at the beginning of this year on Twitter. Maybe. I honestly can't even tell you the real number. And so it was probably the first one that blew up. And it wasn't even anything special. And like if I compare it to my current ones, I think it's actually kind of garbage. But TikTok was kind of new. There wasn't really an MTG TikTok scene whatsoever. No one was making them. So I think people were just hungry for something new. But as far as my favorite one, it's the one pinned on my Twitter, and it's the first time you combo where I'm like floating in the air and I make a million squirrels.
That's actually the second squirrel one that I've seen. The first one where you have the squirrels where they're just like going up into the air. The squirrels are, but they're like it's your one about ones. Talk about how you made the levitating one.
I mean, just I channel my inner Spielberg. You know what I mean? Just move my phone around. I mean, I have a broken I mean, it's right here because I made one this morning. I have a broken thing. It doesn't even hold it anymore. The plastic is snapped. So like I have to angle it, and like I can't like put it on any kind of angle. And I mean, I don't know, just move cameras around, cut, edit, do all the things, make it seem like I'm levitating. Just quick camera shots, you know. All right, so those who haven't seen it, James is referring. I had a shot where my feet are floating, and I just was sitting on a chair and had the chair out of frame and just like lifted my feet. Nothing crazy. I wasn't like doing a pull up at the same time.
Oh, you weren't doing a pull up? Ah.
Nah, no one armed pull ups, you know.
I'm just disappointed.
No Terminator 2, Linda Hamilton style.
That was a really good one. I at first glance I was like, how the heck did he do that? I think there's a lot of times with content creation in general and people that don't really know what goes on in the background. It's a little bit more involved than you'd probably think. There's a lot of effort involved into it.
Yeah. Well, and then it's one of those things where it's like, well, once you start learning those tricks, you just kind of see it all. It's kind of like film editing or YouTube editing or anything. It's like once you learn all the little tricks and you start noticing little things like, oh, they'll do the camera's on this person's face for 2 seconds, but during that 2 seconds, the camera wasn't still. They did a very slow zoom, you know, while they were talking. And then it cuts to a normal thing. And you're just like, you don't notice it. But then once you know the tricks, you're like, oh, that's easy. You just do like a 10% zoom over 2 seconds and it makes it look professional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that on a lot of people's YouTube channels. And I don't even know it's really happening until I notice that it's happening. Until it like already happened. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
They look more zoomed in than they were before. It probably kept me looking at it. It's like in a trance.
There's a science. I mean, I'm sure there's a science to it. Next guest was Mr. Beast, right? He'll talk about all that.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to look at. I'll look at those videos, but I need to now that you say that. Talking about Twitter, and I guess that was a huge impact on your growth, maybe as a streamer too. I don't. When you got retweeted hundreds of times, or maybe even thousands of times. Talk about the impact of just like how one post on social media, maybe it's a TikTok, maybe it's a tweet, or maybe it's you got #1 mythic. Just like talk about how like one thing like that can just catapult you if you're looking to like grow your stream or something like that can really impact your growth in general.
Well, it's hard for me to give exact numbers because, you know, I'm not doing polls or anything like that. But I could say like when the TikTok was first started blowing up, I want to say that was probably a month after I started doing it. Well, there's a period while I was streaming every single day, someone would come in, if not multiple people, and say, I came here from your TikTok every single day. So, I mean, it definitely generated growth. It definitely generated traffic. I can't give it an exact number because I don't know the numbers. But, I mean, my growth was growing. You know, the viewership was growing. Average viewership was growing. And, I mean, there was definitely a period, like every single day, I'm here from your TikToks.
That's got to be a great feeling.
I mean, it made me feel like I was doing something right. So I just kept on making them. I had a nice streak going. At a certain point, I gave up trying to make one every single day. It was just like too much effort. Mm-hmm. Actually, it wasn't even the effort. I was running out of ideas. And so my content started to suffer. And I'd rather not make one every day and make things that I'm like a little more proud of. Just like, oh, well, I got to make one today. Let me rehash this same stupid joke about whatever, you know. And then I was putting out videos I wasn't quite proud of.
You can't
cringe.
have a Chandra and
cringe.
Jace. Yeah, cringe. You can't have a Chandra versus Jace every day, DZ?
No, not every day. There's only so many times I can make fun of Soul Ring, you know, stuff like that.
I just saw that one. Maybe it was yesterday or today. I saw a Soul Ring one.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many punchlines. So, I mean, at a certain point, I'm like rehashing jokes. But, you know, they also say no idea is original.
Hey, whatever punchlines you're doing and however rehashed you think they are, they're really, really good. Really quality content. I implore everyone listening to this and watching this to check out DZ's TikTok. If you're on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, you need to be. Because you need to see DZ do his work. It's really, really good. Let's take a little bit of a transition. I know we talked about TikTok. We talked about Twitter. Where did you originally get started on social media? Was it after you started streaming? Was it like way before you started streaming? I know you probably had like a MySpace or a Facebook or something, but in terms of Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, what kind of got you started doing that, or was it something that you always wanted to do?
I was just originally Twitch. I didn't have any master plan. Make YouTube channel, Instagram page. I didn't have any master plan of all that. I switched my Twitter or Twitch name. No, I mean I had it Twitch DZMTG_. Then I switched my Twitter to that. But no, it all came from the channel. The first thing I ever did was the Twitch, basically, and I got into that just because I didn't really care for the MTG streamers, and I thought the vast majority was just such garbage content. I knew that I could make something I would find more entertaining. I mean, I can't, entertainment is subjective, but to me, I was just like, I can do better than this, and so that's what it all came from.
And you know what came from that? The floating head.
The floating
face. Talk about how that one came to place.
All right, so I used to do little bit goals. I used to give away a pack every single follow. If you followed my channel and messaged me your address, I would mail you a pack. Ooh. I did it for like no bull. 500, 600, 800 people. Like I did it for real. And it wasn't any, like, I would go to the go to the post office. At one point I was going every single day. Then, it started getting a little ridiculous. And so I eventually stopped, but yeah, I used to have all these little goals and everything. And one of the things was spandex morph suit. And I think within 5 minutes, someone donated enough for me to buy the spandex morph suit off Amazon. I was like, all right, well, in a few days, we're going to have a spandex morph suit stream. Because I had a green screen already. And I was like, this will be kind of funny. I'd seen, Eric Andre wore it years and years ago. There's a few streamers that use it. Pay Money Wubby is probably the most popular. And so I wore the morph suit. And then the next day, back to normal, t-shirt, backwards cap, just in front of a green screen. And the whole stream, I was getting comments. Well, why aren't you wearing that again? Well, why aren't you wearing that again? So then I started doing it like off and on. Mm-hmm. And then the more I wore it on the days I wouldn't, the more I would hear, well, why aren't you wearing it? Why aren't you wearing it? Wow. Why aren't you wearing it? And I looked at my numbers and the numbers were higher. I was like, my numbers are literally higher for me donning some spandex. All right, I guess I'll wear it every day. And then boom. At the end of the day, you got to have a product market fit.
Mm-hmm. That's a classic example of doubling down on what you're good at, or what makes people want to, like, what kind of content that people want to see from you. Just doubling down on that, and you're saying, hey, let's do this every day.
Don't beware the man that does 10,000 streams. Beware the man that has 10,000 iterations of a stream. So like, keep changing it up. I mean, if you do the same thing every single day, you can stream every day for a year. If you don't change it, you learn nothing. But if you streamed 100 times in a year and you reassessed every time, I mean, I think the person who streamed 100 times is going to have a way better product.
Yeah, I agree. You just keep getting better and better and better every time. Now, there was one incident that I think a lot of people that follow you specifically, or maybe even been in the Magic community in general, that happened when someone had a lucky draw or something, or they just got lucky, or you maybe got unlucky, and you got out of your chair, and what happened?
Yeah, it's probably referring when I threw a deck box through my green screen. I'll pull it up real quick. You can see it. You can see it right there. It was a flying deck box. Hit that. I'm trying to think what even started that. I think it was just like drawing too many lands. It was my draws. It wasn't like the opponent like outskilling me or anything. It was my deck. It was me versus my deck. And I honestly didn't expect it to just tear through it like single ply tissue paper. But it did. And so, at that point, just own it. You just got to own it. I used to have rage issues. So it was probably a little bit of that coming out.
I could just see the anger / disbelief at the same time when it just went through your green screen. It was hilarious. Just a little fun to rehash that. I know it was probably really embarrassing at the time, but
no, I don't really feel embarrassment.
You don't feel embarrassment. A lot of people would.
No, it's not from streaming, and it's not from wearing spandex. I did door-to-door sales for years. That has been beat out of me. Yeah, I don't get embarrassed. I used to have to do motivational sales speeches to like a room full of like 40 people, grown men, grown women, people younger than me. And I had it. I don't know if you've seen the Steve Ballmer presentation where he's running around on stage, his big Microsoft thing. He's like screaming like a bull and running back and forth. Like I would slap tables and scream and yell cliche sales saying. So like, and then I would knock on strangers' doors, and I did that for years. So yeah, I don't really feel embarrassment. Maybe I was definitely like, I mean, I think it's like $100, $150. I was a little like perturbed that I just, ripped that. So it was more about like a financial thing. I felt like I ripped $100 bill. So that's where the despair came from.
That's when you were just cowering down with your eyes closed. You're like, that's just $100 bill. It's just a Benjamin.
I just broke it.
Oh, you got it fixed though. You have the tape over it, and all's good with when tape is involved. It fixes everything.
Yeah, and it's clear. It maybe adds a little glare, but it ain't that bad.
I don't think it adds any glare. I've watched your streams, and I really have not seen a glare. I've looked for it, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it seems to be fine.
More of the story: tape fixes everything. Now let's transition more of the
shot on your car. You heard it from Charizard James. A little bit of tape, you're good to go.
You got that dent in your car? A little bit of tape, you're good to go.
You have a crosswalk filled with children, it's downhill. Don't worry. Charizard James said tape works.
Don't worry, gonna mow your lawn? Tape. It's the way to go. So let's talk about the companies that you're involved with, Mythic Society, and ICE. Talk about a little bit about what Mythic Society is, and what is your role in that, or was your role, or in the future, or something like that. What is Mythic Society?
Yeah, Mythic Society. It was it's evolved. It's started by Pascal Maynard. If you've been playing Magic for a long time, you remember Goifgate, where there was a Modern Masters draft, and the guy drafted. This was when Goif was worth a lot. He drafted foil Goif over cards in his colors. It was like pack 3 or whatever. So it became this big thing. So that's how most people know Pascal Maynard. He's from the pro scene, paper scene. He was in PTs and GPs and all that stuff. And he started a new thing. It's kind of evolved. It was some streamers. It was a lot of tournaments. They're still doing the tournaments, and it's evolved. And they now have a physical store location in Canada. So I help bring awareness to that, to their tournaments and to their Mythic store. They pay me in credit, so like once a month I'll jump on my stream. We'll browse through their shops, and basically I just buy dual lands. They got a good selection. And then ICE is a team I just joined last month, Invincible Crew Entertainment, and it's a new thing. There's just a couple of us signed so far, but it's growing. The website's growing. About to get some merch in. About to get my T-shirt and the sports water bottle. All that stuff. And it's a new thing, but it's basically it's a team. It's the new FaZe clan, but maybe a little smaller.
The new okay, you heard it here first on StreamCast. The new FaZe clan.
Yeah. All you FaZe members, suck it. FaZe Banks, I will celebrity box you. What's up?
Now there's one complaint I will have about the merch if it comes out, and it's not a green suit.
We'll make it. No, I've actually thought about that, and I think I'm eventually I have a website in the works. There's a buddy of mine, Discount Goats, helping me, and I think eventually I want to get a nice green hoodie that kind of matches the green suit color. So I do want a morph suit-esque merch, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do I don't know. It's kind of an ugly color, so we'll have to see what works.
That'd be so sweet, though. It's an ugly color, but it's iconic. It's they know it's you when they have this nice form-fitting. Maybe it's a windbreaker or something, but it has to be like kind of form-fitting, but it's a jacket at the same time, and it's a hoodie. Like, I think that'll sell. You know when someone's walking down the street in that thing, then they'll know that's DZMTG from Twitch. Then they'll
maybe put Judge on it. Or how something like that.
Yeah. Judge for sure with an exclamation point. Um, so that's cool that you're a part of the Mythic Society and ICE at the same time. That you're contributing to other organizations. And what do you think about teams in general, like stream teams or um, things that the team might do for yourself, or and what do you do for your own self, or maybe what does the team do for you, and what do you think about stream teams in general?
I think at the end of the day, for smaller up and coming content creators, it's a huge plus. It's a huge plus. I think it only really becomes a negative once you are bigger than the team. So I can't even remember the team, but like Ninja was on a team until like not that long ago, and he was the biggest thing in 2018. Um, Bugga, the world champion in Fortnite, like he's on a team. I think once you're literally bigger than a team, yeah, then maybe it won't help you. Maybe it just holds you back. Maybe they're like siphoning some of your money. But for anyone that's not, if you're smaller than Ninja, it probably helps. I really think you had to be like really, really big before it becomes maybe more of a negative than a positive. But yeah, I mean, they usually, give you some sponsorship money and help with travel and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it's pretty much just all pluses for the smaller up and coming content creators. I would recommend it. I mean, if you got someone reaching out to you, look into it. Don't just sign the first people. But I mean, if you vibe with the people, if you like the other content creators, maybe reach out. So like Fade to Karma is a big MTG team. Yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with any of the people, maybe reach out, be like, hey, I might be joining this team. Do you have any thoughts you don't mind sharing with me privately? I don't know if they'll throw them under the bus, but I mean, if they're having a bad situation, they might.
I know that I'm a part of Fade to Karma Comnet itself, so there's a huge community. Everyone's super helpful, and you can kind of move up the tiers on what's your viewer count, or how many. We do like Fade to Karma Comnet raids, to where we all kind of get with each other and support other people in the community on their stream in real time as well. So it's a really, really fun and rewarding thing to be a part of, and I would recommend being a part of a stream team. In general, it just helps a lot. Even if you start streaming and you're streaming to one person and it's yourself, or two people and it's yourself and your dog looking at another camera, And I know that's how I started streaming. To very, very kind of lonely I mean, I never really felt lonely, but when you go for like the first 1, 2, 3 days in a row and it's just you and no one else,
Yeah.
you kind of look in the mirror and be like, you have to. It takes that next level of, I'm gonna do this.
Do you remember your first? Do you remember your first full-time viewer, or like your first serious lurker? I remember.
Yes, I do actually. They still watch.
Mine's not around anymore.
Mine still watches.
They still around?
Yes.
Okay, I must have scared mine away. I had a viewer, Luna. If you're out there, Luna. No, I remember Luna changed jobs, and then yeah, they fell out. They had like, they were the oldest sub and all that stuff, and they were my first viewer. So shout out to them first viewers.
Shout out to Batsmack. His name is Bobby, but he's also just my one of my friends in real life. That's been someone that's been around ever since basically day 1 or 2. But someone that's I don't know in real life. When I was so excited when I got the first viewer that spoke in chat that I didn't know personally. At that point, I realized I made it.
It's wild when you think of like when you first started streaming, how different it is once you get used to it and kind of have a steady audience and everything. Like when you're first, you're just such a noob. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what's happening. You're looking at, like you realize like, oh my God, my view went up 1. How long have they been here? Oh my God, was I talking for the last 2 minutes? Oh no, I've been silent. Say something. Say something. We want to draw a mountain. I mean, it's exhilarating. It's nerve wracking. It's all the things.
And that first person that I didn't know that hung out in my stream, I still know who they are too. It's MTG Paragon. You probably know who they are as well. They're also they started streaming after they got inspired by me doing my own stream, and it inspired them to stream themselves. So they're a streamer themselves as well, and we kind of pass back and forth tips and tricks and things like that. And I'm not a big streamer myself, but It feels really good to have someone hang out that you didn't know before, that wasn't your best friend, your dog, or your dad, watching your stream that is still there, and you remember who they are, because it really feels like a small family. I don't even know how to say it. Like, someone's in your stream, you don't know who they are, and they're all of a sudden interested in your content. It's a really good feeling.
It's an amazing feeling. I recommend if you're going to start streaming, have your phone with a different Twitch account. So have your Twitch on your phone, boom, one viewer. And if you have Twitch on a television, whether via PS4 or PS5, Xbox, whatever, put it on there with a different account. And you start every stream with 2. Boom. You're up there. You're above the 0 viewer Andes.
And here you are with with stream hacks from DZMTG.
I think it made a big difference for me. I felt like you get more people floating in.
I didn't know the 2 viewer hack, but I felt like when I viewed myself on my stream, I was just hacking the system. Like, no one knew this. This is something brand new. I'm cheating, but no. But it really does help, because when you go from the 0 to 1 to 2 viewers and up to, say, you get 5 viewers, it really bumps you up into the searchability of you, because the only thing you can do in Twitch is scroll down to find the people. You can't really, there's no really real search engine for streamers, or there is one, but it's not really that discoverable for somebody. They really rank it by viewers, by viewer count. So even if you get up to 5, 6, 7, 8, I was so excited when I was like, my goal, it was like my first week of streaming, and I said, okay, we're getting to 10 viewers today. Let's go. 10 viewers. We're doing it. And I remember I was at 7, and I was like, can I get to 8? Can I get to 8? And then all of a sudden I was like, let's get to 10, folks. And all of a sudden it shot to 11. And my heart started beating out of my...
You felt like you made it.
Yeah, my heart started beating out of my chest. Yeah. I was sweating, nervous. What do I say to all these people?
Yeah.
I don't know them.
I mean, I used to get sweaty and nervous at 10 viewers for sure.
Yeah, it's
like,
just crazy to think about.
Oh my God, this is damn near, it's about a dozen people in here. Oh my God, the pressure is on. Like, literally, I would just be sweating.
Like, you're like, I made it. I'm quitting my job tomorrow. I'm multi-millionaire already. Speaking of that, what are some of your stream goals or accomplishments, or just something that you see for yourself down the line streaming, even if you're full time now, if you're not full time, like, give us a scope of what you're looking at right now.
Well, I like to see what works, what other people have done. I mean, I think Day 9 has done a great job. Day 9 has the longest sub in all of Twitch. What do you think Day 9's day looks like? You know what I mean? He's not sitting here worrying about a stream 24/7. I think he's got it down where this, the bigger you are and the longer you've been around, the less you can actually stream. I mean, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to do this for 3 hours on this day and 2 hours on that day. And the goal is to just get, I think, call me crazy, I don't think Amazon's going anywhere. I don't. So by that, I mean, I don't think Twitch is going anywhere. It's owned by Amazon. I think Amazon is going to be around. Also, call me crazy, I don't think Hasbro is going to fold, nor do I think Magic the Gathering is going to fold. So I see these two entities being here for the long term. So, I mean, I really feel like the way everything is just so fractured as far as entertainment, there's too many streaming services. There's too many television stations. There's too many movies coming out. There's too many animes. There's too many this. There's just too much everything. There's too much YouTube. There's too many apps absorbing our attention. So it's just such an attention-based economy. I feel like content creating is just going to keep on growing. I think it'll be a Twitch. I mean, I think there's going to be some huge Twitch streamers. I don't know if they'll ever be Tom Cruise in the 90s big, or Brad Pitt in the 90s, or John Wayne in the 70s, or whatever decade. I don't know if they'll ever be that big, but I mean, they might be. I mean, look how big PewDiePie was. Look how big Mr. Beast is. More people. I mean, it's hard to judge because the tastemakers are like in their 50s, 60s, 70s, the people who do run television networks. So I feel like the real pulse of what's happening isn't so much what you see on a magazine cover or what you see on Entertainment Tonight. I think content creation for games specifically is just going to grow a lot. More and more people are becoming gamers. So, I mean, I just try to ride this wave is basically what I was doing. Trying to get in early enough, hopefully. And long-term strategy is branch out into other people where I'm trying to like help people stream. But there's no telling what Twitch streaming will look like 10 years from now. So at the moment, just keep riding the wave, keep surfing the crest is the goal.
So you're gonna hop on the, what is it, the Harris Heller Ashley Christ train there? Like they basically just only help people stream. What do you feel like you would want to do if you help people stream and continue to stream Magic, or what do you want to do there?
Team owner.
What was that?
No, it'd still be like it would be more like a team owner type situation. So, for instance, if I was to teleport in Day 9's body, what I would want to do is something, and I don't feel like I'm giving away $1 million idea or anything like this. I want to move in a city where it's going to be good for content creation, whether it's Las Vegas, Austin, LA, New York, probably not the last two, and then I would actually want to make essentially a gamer house where sign you to contract, you stream X hours a week, and you get to use my equipment, and you get to use my editing team, and you get to use all my facilities, and we'll figure out a way for me to monetize you. You are a product, basically, but I'll help you by giving you a launch pad. And the way technology's going, like, who knows if we're going to be doing 3D Oculus Magic the Gathering arena 10 years from now. Like, we literally might be wearing haptic suits. Like, it might get actually pretty crazy as far as the technology goes. So I think if we can grow and technology grows, there might be some barriers of entry when it comes to certain things. I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen. So I want to keep, I don't want to pigeonhole myself, but I mean, we literally might be wearing haptic suit, 3D goggle, throwing actual lightning bolts at an actual 3D dragon, and everyone might be submerged. Who knows what the hell Neuralink's going to do 20 years from now?
I was just thinking that.
But I would like to be on the forefront of technology, streaming, entertainment, and I would use my platform to put other people on. If I was Day 9, that's what I would be doing.
Well, and you never know what types of mediums that are going to be transporting information now. Like right now, it's YouTube, TikTok, whatever thing you can think of, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch these days. But 5-10 years from now, it could just be just what you're saying. It could just be Neuralink haptic suits or whatever, and those things just wouldn't have to exist.
Yeah, or like your regular Twitch channels, like some grandpa shit. What do you mean you don't have your chit hooked up? You're not hooked up in the Neuralink Twitch channel? Oh, you're in Twitch 2.0. I'm on Twitch 4.5.
It's basically like right now, someone said, check out my MySpace.
Yeah, basically.
Now, we just spoke about your goals as a streamer. What are some of your goals? And maybe this go hand in hand, but what are some of your more specific Magic the Gathering goals, or in a competitive light? What types of tournaments do you like to play in, or have you played in, or what kind of tournaments do you usually play in, and what is your best tournament experience that you've had?
Shout out to the Mythic Society tournaments. Tournaments while streaming can be a little bit awkward, so the juice has to be worth the squeeze. If you're gonna have these downtimes of putting out not as much entertainment because you're sitting here waiting for round's gonna start in 5 minutes, we don't have time to start a match. You don't want to say you're just scrolling through Twitch channels on MTG. You don't want to just stop at someone like looking at MTG Melee page. No, I want to see the new cards being cast or something. So there's a little bit of give and a take when you're playing tournaments. But I used to be really into paper tournaments. My dream was, like, this is way back in the day, to be a SEG grinder, get points. I had a couple top 8s under my belt for, I don't know what they're called now. They're back then they were called, I want to say invitational qualifiers or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it was my dream to, like, back in the day they had the SEG points, BBD, Yuza, and all these people would be on the top, and I had my little, like, I never really got more than a dozen points because, I never top 8'd like any of the big tournaments. but I would top 8 some of these smaller ones. And I really saw myself like, I'm going to be a paper grinder one day. So, I mean, the tournament scene is definitely a part of my blood, but at the end of the day, I see a lot more growth just like with the Crokies strategy versus I'm a sweat tournaments all day strategy. So I just go with what works.
Talk about what you mean by the Croaky strategy.
Turn on camera and stream Magic and not worry about, okay, today we're doing SEG Invitational Qualifier Flight 7. We missed out on Flight 4. We didn't quite get the 4 or 2, so we're going to devote all of Thursday afternoon to this. Just give the people what they want. Just give the people what they want. Dance, monkey. So I'm a dance.
And you know what the people want? The people want the green suit. Is what we talked about before.
People do want the green suit, but and also like COVID has just like kind of wrecked the tournament structure. Mm-hmm. But don't get me wrong, I would love to play in a Mythic Championship. I would dream of doing that. I will do it in the morph suit. Like once they bring back in person, I'm gonna roll down that stage in the fucking spandex. I don't care. But I mean, the tournament, I mean, it's in some ways it's increased because there's no more online tournaments. MTG Melee has stepped up and stuff like that. But at the same time, like the money's a lot lower. The first Mythic Championships, I think you were paid $7,500 just to show up. You know,
wow.
Like when the first 1 or 2 were huge. Literally last place, show up, 0-3 drop. You're paid $7,500. But now I don't even know. Like I don't even know what they're paying now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 20% of that or 10% of that, because now they're doing it from home and all that. You know,
less physical effort involved, I guess.
Less physical effort, and I mean they not as much money in esports 2020 as there was in 2019. It looks like. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't have the facts in front of me, but I know like a lot of games. Didn't give out as much money as they even pledged. I think I don't know if Magic ever said, you know, we're going to give out $10 million. I think they might have, but I know Fortnite, Epic Games pledged $100 million in cash prizes, and then COVID hit, and they kind of put like a stop to their plans. You remember the year previous, the winner of the World Cup won $3 million.
That's crazy.
World's best Fortnite player won $3 million cash. That's insane. But this year there just isn't a World Cup. So, I mean, 2020, the tournament scene has just been kind of effed.
Is there anyone in the competitive scene or maybe in the comedy scene or influencer scene in general that was that influenced you the most on, you know, whether it's how funny you are or how competitive you play in Magic or anything like that? Like, what are some of your biggest influencers that you looked up to? Or maybe modeled yourself?
I looked up to Jeff Hooglin. Jeff Hooglin had the best monetization of any Twitch streamer that I've seen that did MTG Arena. There's other ones who like Pay Money Webby probably has the best monetization. I think he does, but yeah, Jeff Hooglin, every deck he played, he was paid to play. You know, he had his list, and you could I want to see this deck, but he's not going to play zombies for 8 decks, so I will give $50, and now the next deck is zombies, and so now zombies move from number 8 to number 1. Well, the deck that was number 1 is now number 2. And then that person might say, oh, you know what? I'm going to donate $20. And now that's first. And then the zombie guy is going to be like, oh, well, I got to do $5 more. And so like he was raking it in, and he had his website set up, and it was all like integrated and everything. So I mean, the Jeff Hooglin monetization strategy is like what I want to eventually emulate. And now that he's gone, you know, someone has to take his spot. I felt like he probably had half the viewers, and I'm just speculating out my butt, but I felt like he, like, even at half the viewers, he was making more than Crokies was. I mean, he was just, every deck was paid. Every deck he was paid for. So, I mean, I would say he's the only one that really, like, I would say, man, that's an inspiration right there. As far as like actual content, I mean, I'm just so me. I can't really say like, oh, I like that person's this or that person's whatever. Mm-hmm. I do primarily just do constructed, but that's kind of a lot of people already. But yeah, I would just say mostly Hooglin.
Yeah. Actually, something interesting that you said that. When I first started watching Twitch, which was over a year ago, probably like a year and a half ago, um, the only person I watched was Jeff Hoagland. I found him. I found him from YouTube, because I was playing a modern Tron deck, the Mono Green Tron, and
Hmm.
I watched a video where he just destroyed everyone. 5-0, fastest 5-0 I've ever seen in a Magic Online event. And I was like, "Yep, this is the deck I'm gonna make. This deck seems powerful. Just turn 3, cast Karn, win the game." So it was just off of that, and then I switched over to watching him on Twitch, and I found out his monetization strategy, and it really made me want to sub to him. And that was the only person
Yeah.
I subbed to, for like a year straight. Was the only person I was subbed to, because you know why? Because I wanted him to play my deck.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a
I mean,
strategy.
he definitely had the good strategy. He definitely had it down. He's a great player. I used to watch him. He was the first Twitch streamer I ever watched, actually. The first Twitch I ever watched, I used to watch the SEG tournaments. And I don't think I really watched Twitch besides the SEG tournaments. And I think I maybe found that through my local game store. They had something on the television. I was like, oh, they showed that on Twitch. I thought it was just Super Mario speed runs or whatever. And that's with the camera and the paper and the announcers, Cedric Phillips and
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Chapin or whatever you say his last name. I was like, wow, this is good stuff. So I started watching that every Saturday and Sunday. Every Saturday, Sunday afternoon, I threw it on Twitch on my TV and I watched that. And that's when I found Jeff Hoogland because he would top eight kind of often with bad decks, Kiki
Mm-hmm.
Jiki and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And like he just like I love the Kiki Jiki deck. And I was like, okay, so then I started watching his stream. And then he was the very first streamer I ever got into. I don't even know how long ago I started watching that. It was a while ago though. But yeah, and then the following year, I started watching different games, and then I realized not him specifically or anybody, but I just started realizing like how low quality the MTG streams are in general, just how little entertainment value they bring
Mm-hmm.
to it. So that's kind of what I said. You know what? I guess I need to put my hat in the ring and see what happens.
And it's ended up working out for sure. Now I could just actually see you every Saturday and Sunday night, just propping on your recliner chair, crossing your legs. You have like 3 cups of coffee next to you, slurping away. This is my Saturday and Sunday time. I get to watch Jeff Hoagland. Um, is there?
Well, more afternoon, but what I would do more accurately, not that far off, I would watch it mid afternoon, noonish, throw it on or whatever. And then when I would see a cool deck, take a picture with my phone and then build it in paper. And then
Oh,
like me and my buddy were like, oh, let's play this. Oh yeah, round 7. This guy is 7-0 with this deck. And like literally build it right there. And I had
you
still kind of
snapshot
have
with the
an
phone.
insane paper collection.
Wow,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the way. That was the way.
wow. It brings you back to old yonder 2018. Like seems like so long ago. 2017 when you just couldn't do some
It
of the things you
kind
can
of
do
almost
now.
does.
It feels so long ago.
Yeah.
Um, Now, what are some of your speaking of you doing that weird thing with your phone, and making the deck in paper? What are some other like something quirky that no one knows about you from watching your streams or anything? What does like outside of Magic DZ look like?
Outside of Magic DZ, I'm super boring. Super boring. I used to live a little bit more of a crazy life, but post COVID, I lived the life of an old man, like literally old man. Whereas before, say, maybe not so much 12 months ago, 15 months ago, I had a part time job as a bartender. And before that, I was a bouncer. So, like, a few years ago, I'm like getting in bar fights, like literal roadhouse type situations. Now, no chicken wire with people throwing beers against the cage, but like I would like regularly get into roadhouse situations, which doesn't really mesh with your typical paper Magic player or Magic player. Like you don't think of someone
Yeah,
choking
yeah,
people
yeah.
out personally, but like yeah, I would it was a lot more crazy lifestyle like a couple years ago, 3 years ago, year and a half ago. But now these days, I mean, I'm just an old man.
I mean, being 24 years old and being an old man. I mean, you would only know. I know you're a little older than 24. Don't tell anyone your actual age, but Oh.
A lot older than that.
What are some of your things that you just hate the most about someone that something does at the Magic table, or even if it's not Magic related? What just like grinds your
Rule
gears?
sharks bullying new players. I hate people that bully new players. I hate people that try to intimidate players. I mean, you don't see it anymore because we're not at local game stores like we used to be. But when you know the player's just starting out of Magic, but you're sweating the 4-0 so bad, you're going to rule shark them. I cannot stand that. I cannot stand that. I can't stand people who bully the noobs. Like, oh, you missed your trigger. No, you can't cast that. And like, dude, you're doing this for an extra pack at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Like 4-0 gets the promo pack. Like you're literally being a complete douchebag for the promo pack. So it's rule sharks burning the noobs. I can't stand it.
It's like you're a 2-color deck, but you're playing against someone that you know it's their first tournament ever, and you're playing your Gruul deck, but you don't have any red, and you go to cast your Gruul Spellbreaker, right, and you just tap all your green sources and cast it. The other person doesn't know that much about Magic to know you didn't just like slip the Gruul Spellbreaker down there and it's lethal. And if it had gone to their turn, they would have won, but it's their first tournament. But you can't lose to them.
Yeah.
You have to get your back.
Yeah, I mean, or like when it's like a kid and they're like, okay, can I untap that land I tapped wrong? Imagine saying no.
No, you can't do that.
Those people. Like F those people.
Yeah, that would be one of my pet peeves as well. So you talk about that you do nothing. That you're an old man in a young man's body. Do you play any sports, exercise, watch TV shows? Like what TV shows do you like to watch? Or what sports
I exercise regularly. I have been watching a lot more television lately. It all started when I got Disney Plus. I kind of got in a routine. But yeah, no, I had really bad back issues when I was younger, so I actually care about my health a lot. And I used to when I was 19, I was with me and my first like serious relationship. We were living together, and I remember for my birthday, she got me a personal trainer, and I was like, "That's a bad sign." I remember looking down, like, "Yeah, I guess I'm not the stud muffin that I don't have this tight 18-year-old body. I'm flabby 19-year-old now." So that started my journey of like having personal trainers, and I had personal trainers off and on for 10 years. So like, yeah, I work out every day. So today, I make sure to walk and get sunlight every day. I don't care if it's cold. Today, I walked around in my neighborhood, just circled a couple blocks, and I have a routine. Every gutter, I'll do a set of something. So I did 100 squats, 100 lunges, like 25 calf raises. So like at a gutter, if I'm doing push-ups that day, at a gutter in the street, I'll do 25 push-ups, walk 5 driveways, another gutter, 25 push-ups. So like yesterday, I did 200 push-ups. So with COVID, I don't go to the gym anymore. I went a couple times, or I went for a brief period in the summer. So like I quit in March, and then in the summer I was like, you know what? Let me try the gym in my neighborhood. I live in a little community or whatever, and I heard motherfuckers coughing in there, like, and I was like, this is a goddamn Twilight Zone or something. So then now I'm just working out in the streets like I'm a scrappy coming up boxer in Rocky 5 or something. You like literally like pull-ups like outside in the like garage type shit. Oh, so yeah, I try to keep my health pretty serious. But yeah, I got Disney Plus for free. So then I started watching Mandalorian. And like I never really watched that much TV. I might throw it on some YouTube, but I got into like watching 1 to 2 hours of a show. I burnt through the Mandalorian, and then I started Queen's Gambit, and so like it got me in the routine. So I just recently started watching like more television. I was getting away from it, I would mostly spend time on YouTube or play Arena at night, but now I'm like, you know what, I'm catching up on all this television. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
There is. I feel like there was this Twitch craze with chess. Like everyone wanted to play chess on Twitch, and it was just like this thing that everyone was doing. It's kind of like how Among Us and Rust are like right now. Just everyone wanted to play chess, and I didn't know really why. And then the Queen's Gambit came out, and then I was like, "This show's really good. I know more about chess now. Maybe I'll watch chess on Twitch." And it's just like a rabbit hole that you go down. But the Queen's Gambit was one of my favorite shows in the last year. And in 2020, I think it was my favorite show. Queen's Gambit is amazing.
Yeah, I was actually I was in the chess club in middle school, so I used to love chess. I played it every single day in middle school and hung out with the chess nerds and all that stuff. And I was pretty decent at it, but we never traveled. So like I couldn't like I was good. I was probably like big fish, small pond, like good in my middle school. I don't think I was the best, but I was in the top 3 or 4. But I'm sure if we traveled to New York City Park Bench, or like the
Mm-hmm.
old heads out there, like I'd probably just get stomped. So I never really got like that serious into chess. But I mean, I was into it enough to be in the chess club in middle school, and we played every day, like before class, because we'd have like a good half hour just waiting for the buses were so sporadic or whatever. So you're just sitting there like in the cafeteria for a half hour waiting for first period, and we played chess every single day. And then, like I think even at lunch, like we'd finish eating and play chess. But yeah. I mean, chess kind of had 2 resurgences. It was the Queen's Gambit, and if you remember, like 4 months or so before that, I think XQC was being trained by the Grand Master. I
I
forget
didn't
his
hear about
name,
that.
but like it blew up. It blew up on Twitch for a short period. He streams. He's like partner. He's like pretty big. I forget his name, but no, there's like an actual chess
Wow.
grandmaster that streams regularly and coaches people.
Wow. I did not know that. That SQC got like trained by a grandmaster on that he also streams on Twitch. That's just like blows my mind.
Yeah. He like I want to say he was watching him for a tournament, and he lost so quickly. You just like see him all like disappointed. Like he's like he tutored him for 2 weeks, and then he's like just regular old chess player, not really hanging.
I could just see you in the lunchroom, just like snacking on your ham sandwich and your banana and your chocolate milk, and then just moving over, like you and your friend just move over one slot and pound the chess clock. All right, it's our time to shine. We got 20 minutes.
I wish we were cool enough for a chess clock. No, we didn't have a chess clock. Plus, we weren't even smart enough to say like, oh, he's opening with the Queen's Gambit. He's gonna do this and do that. Like I never. I think I got a book once, like from the library, and I think I opened one page and said, I'm not reading this. I'm not gonna do this. Like memorize old matches. So I never really had the passion for it like that the true diehards do. But I mean, Magic I love. It's like chess with poker. It's a lot of skill based, but it definitely adds in enough luck to keep things exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see you in the middle school. The Sicilian defense. Interesting. Just like stroking the non-existent beard that you have.
Honda Black 3. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. It's just a whole hierarchy of chess players in your middle school, just your table, and it's just the cool kids table that all play chess. Except for you're not cool. You're just nerdy.
Oh, I sat at the end of the table like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, because you were a big fish, small pond, so they had to work up to play against you, right? They had to go through a tournament structure, and you're waiting at the end.
Yeah, it was round robin. I only played one person, and I got to go twice before they went once.
That's funny. Do you have any advice for just overarching advice, or maybe some specific advice for new streamers that maybe haven't started streaming yet and want to, or maybe don't, or maybe already have and they're in that 1 to 2 people, or maybe even they're at 10 to 20 people? What kind of advice do you have for someone to move the ball forward in that way?
Oh man, there's a lot. The first thing, if you're thinking about starting, just do it. Just do it. Do it tomorrow. Do it today. Do it tonight. Do it. Do it. Do it. If you're one viewer, Andy, you're wondering do the 2 viewer hack. Do one with your phone. Do one with the Xbox. Maybe if you live with your parents, borrow one of your parents' phones. Say, hey, can I borrow your phone for 2 hours? Girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Use someone's phone. Start out as a 2 viewer, Andy. Someone pointed out earlier, like it's a little intimidating if you got 0 viewers, and you're like, damn, I'm gonna go in there, and then they're gonna like look at users in chat, and they're like gonna say my name or something. And I'm gonna be freaked out, and I'm gonna leave. So always start with 1 or 2. It takes the pressure off the people coming in. Because it's a lot different when you're coming in as the 3rd viewer and you type in, oh, sick top deck, versus when you're the only person and you type it, you're like, God, you feel like seen and exposed, almost naked. Like, oh my God, I feel like I'm whispering in this person's ear versus like yelling from the stands. It reminds me of a time I saw a college basketball game, and it was no one was hype. And I'm like, I've always kind of had the energy and personality. So like I remember saying brick or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and the guy was jogging, and he looked right at me. And I was just like, oh my god! Like versus if I was in a packed arena, it wouldn't have mattered. Like even if he heard me, he wouldn't have jogged and stared right at me. So like I remember the feeling of like, oh my god. So like that's how I kind of feel like when you're at 0 viewers and one person comes in. I kind of feel like you're maybe not going to say as much. So do the hack. Use your phone. Use television. Open up new accounts. You know, have three Twitch accounts. Who cares? Just do it. Just jump that up immediately. If you're at 10, 20, and you're stuck and you're wondering why it isn't working, the first thing I would say is watch your VODs. There might be something, your microphone might suck, you know, maybe there's some crazy echo. Maybe it might be something literally as stupid as your game sounds are too loud. And it sounds normal while you're streaming, but then when you watch it, you're like, holy crap, like every time I cast Shatter Skull, something is screaming at the people, you know? So like it could be something as that. So I would definitely say watch your VODs. That's probably what's keeping you from the next level. And then final advice is, this is just good advice. Whatever you want, if you want to be the next XQC or Ninja, you want to be the next Crokies, you want to be whatever, fill in the blank, whatever you want. It's the easy advice in the world. This is the secret. I'm going to tell everybody the secret. This is going to get you whatever you want in life. Whatever you want in life. Anything. It's literally, it should be illegal what I'm telling you. Find the price and pay it. That's it. Find the price and pay it. It's that easy. I know it sounds trite and it sounds like, oh, he's just saying a sentence. No, it's that easy. Find the price and pay it. So what else? I said XQC or Ninja. Ninja blew up 2018. That man streamed 3,500 hours that year. 3,500 hours. That's 10 hours every single day, 15 days off. That's 10 hours every day, 1 day off a month, plus your birthday, Valentine's, and Christmas. Like that's literally 10 hours every day for a month, except for 1 day a month. Like that was the price that he paid. Find your price and pay it. And this goes for anything. This goes for anything. You want that promotion. Okay, well, maybe the price is you show up 30 minutes early and you leave 30 minutes late and you kiss ass with your boss a little. You know, you play the politics. Like find the price. It doesn't matter what your objective is. Also, I would say systems over goals. Change your systems. Don't change the goals.
What do you mean by change your systems?
Take that advice. Oh, go by systems, not goals. That's a good question. So goals don't work. Goals are bullcrap. Like, okay, what's a goal? A goal is, what's your goal, James? Just a goal. It could be anything. We're not streaming, like in real life. What's a goal you have?
I'll just go by streaming, I guess. The goal I have in streaming is to make a Twitch partner.
Make it a Twitch partner. All right. Well, that goal means essentially nothing. A system would be starting at the same start time, getting your schedule down. System would be at the end of every stream, I spend 5 minutes looking at this, or at the end of every stream, I do this, or the beginning of every stream, I do this. System would be, okay, I have a goal of doing this. A system would be, I make one YouTube video every other day, and I stream these specific days. So for me right now, a little personal, I put on a few pounds. I want to drop some weight. So a goal is to lose weight. Well, that doesn't mean shit. So my system is I'm going to eat my last bit of food a little bit earlier every night. A system would also be less portions, but I have issues with that. So yeah, systems, not goals. Goals don't work. Make a system.
I agree 100%.
A goal is I want to bench press 200 pounds. A system is I make sure I work out every single day. And then the goal will solve itself, or change your systems until it does.
That's deep. I like it. And it's 100% true as well. I know for me, when I wanted to make even when I wanted to just make affiliate, and that was my goal, hit affiliate, get 3 average viewers, and I was like, okay, what do I need to do? It was less about the goal for me than it was about I'm gonna stick to my stream schedule. I'm gonna stream at these exact same times. I'm gonna do this exact same thing. I'm gonna play these. I'm gonna play this deck because I'm good at it and I just enjoy playing it. I think we need to get to the point where our systems are also in line with like our happiness. Like if your system just like makes you miserable, it doesn't matter what your goal is. You're probably gonna stop. You know?
Well, desire is suffering. So
Yeah.
that's just a lever in your brain. So then you don't desire it enough, and you need to just give up. And I hate to be like harsh like that, but like if you don't have if it's making you unhappy doing that, you know, and you can't see the desire of, oh my God, that purple check mark next to my name is going to change my life, then you know, clearly you need to do something wrong, or you're doing something wrong. You need to do something different. But happiness that's a whole nother hack. Happiness, if you look at happiness as a mental thing, you're kind of screwed and it's hard to change. But if you look at happiness as a physical thing, then it's easy to change.
Yeah.
Because it's just chemicals. It's a physical wet computer in your brain, and certain physical acts on this physical object change what gets squirted. Like literally, like oh, here's oxytocin. You know, here's enough serotonin to last you throughout the whole day. It's a physical object, so yeah, mental health though, man. 2020 has like wrecked people, but I don't know. The information's out there. You just gotta make happiness a desire, and it'll happen. You just gotta desire it. And it's one thing to just say it. Oh, you know, but you know, you got to be careful because there are the rare cases where your brain is just semi-broken. You know, it's in your whole family. But I would say, you know, this might get me in some hot water. I would say the vast majority of quote unquote depressed people are just not hitting the levers of their physical brain in the correct way. They're not exercising. They're not getting sunlight. They're not eating right. They're not doing the little things that get you the oxytocin, the serotonin, the dopamine. There's little physical hacks. There's mental hacks. And they're just not hitting the levers. But they don't. It's just probably more so a lack of information. They're told, oh, if I think happy thoughts, it'll get me there. That's bull. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. But you know what? If you physically pet your dog, that literally releases oxytocin in your brain. So what works better? Something that this physical act literally squirts out juice in your brain, or just thinking while you sit on your couch, man, think a happy thought. All right, my birthday when I was 8. No, that doesn't work. You know, it's just temporary fixes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It is kind of a slippery slope when you deal with mental health, and people are in different situations than others. But when you think about it like that, it is just a physical signal in your brain that tells you, oh, hey, here's this chemical. Now you're going to feel a different way. Now, I can't speak of in the position of someone that is in a depressed state, because I'm not, and I don't think I've ever felt that way. But I can definitely, you know, have empathy and for people that are in that are feeling that certain type of way. And maybe I think they might just not be aware that it can be different, or aware that there's a different thing that they might need to do to change it. And that's a whole nother topic of conversation. But I think well,
let me say this real quick about that. I think people's desires are muddled, and what I mean by that is they have too many desires, and it's all fuzzy. It's all these fuzzy desires, and I wanted my coffee to be hotter. I wish I had these new shoes, or I wish I had a new purse, or my dog pooped on my carpet and that makes me upset, or I wish my car was nicer. I wish my house was nicer. They have way too many desires, and this is old Buddhist saying, desire is suffering. If you choose one desire, just choose one desire and focus on that, the universe is set up in a way that you can probably achieve that desire. But when you have 13 different desires and then you're wondering why you're upset, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's not your genes. It's not the you know, it is your fault. And it's just a lack of information. You don't know what you're doing is wrong, but you're wondering why you're upset, and you're watching these Instagram posts. Oh my God, this friend I went to high school is on vacation. Now I desire to be on vacation. Oh my God, this friend has a new car. Now I desire a better car. Oh my God, look at their clothes. It's better than mine. Oh, their body's better than mine. Oh, their girlfriend's hotter than mine. Now I desire this. I desire that. I desire this. And you're filled with 37 desires and you don't have any of them and you're wondering why you're upset. But if you just choose one thing, focus on it, it'll come if you work hard.
And I think you can transition that to or streaming in general, saying, oh, this person had just hit partner and they've been streaming for 3 months less than me, or this person has 35 viewers per stream and I have 12 viewers per stream, or even this person has 1.3k viewers per stream and I have 276. Or this person has more subs than me, and it can get you into negative thought process. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what the other streamer's doing. It's ultimately it's up to you, and in a way, it's both your fault and it's also up to you to do that for yourself. Someone else isn't going to help you. If someone's at one point, I mean, they might out of the goodness of their heart help you, but if someone has way more followers than you and they've been streaming for way less time than you, it's not their fault. You wouldn't worry about them. You just worry about what you can do yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at the end of the day, here's a little mental hack. I'm trying to the current mental hack I'm trying to train my brain into right now is when you see whenever, I don't want to say insulted, whenever you're criticized, tell yourself cha-ching. And I literally mean say cha-ching in your brain. So someone might come into your chat and say, hey, game volume's too loud. Don't say, God dang it, you're criticizing me. Or so tell yourself, cha-ching. Hey, you just gave me free money. You just made my stream better for free. Thank you. Cha-ching, cha-ching. So I'm right now I'm in the process of trying to turn every criticism into literally cha-ching noise in my brain, which will instantly put me on a state of gratitude. Oh, thank you. Cha-ching. Mm-hmm. Yeah, appreciate that. So it could be, oh, you need to do this with your YouTube. Cha-ching. I appreciate that. Thank you. So that's the hack I'm working on now. I mean, it's kind of come out of nowhere me saying that, but
no, I've been learning that too. Like just someone has told me, your YouTube video, I'm gonna thumbs down it or whatever. Like that's a cha-ching moment. I understand that I could get. I understand. Thank you for that, because now it helps me. Maybe I don't have to change it, but it helps me to at least take an outside look on my YouTube video or my stream and fix that. So thank you for helping me be aware of this other thing that you might have seen that no one else has told me about. Because maybe one person says something about your Twitch volume or your gameplay volume, but maybe 100 people have thought it, but just that one person said it. So it kind of helps you, because that person probably helps you more than they hurt you, and they're trying to hurt you, but they help you more. And having a physical representation of the cha-ching noise in your head is a really good way to hack to get to the next level of thinking, instead of thinking, oh, F you, or why would you ever say that in my chat? Why would you come to my chat just to say that?
Yeah, I'm it's just something I've was looking into a few days ago, so I'm still in the process of it. But yeah, it turns a criticism into almost instant happiness. Thank you. Ching. Yeah, thank you. It's almost like an instant boost of happiness. Oh, it's an immediate smile on your brain, or on your brain. Essentially, it's immediate smile on your brain, which then translates to the face.
And you're actually creating that brain signal yourself, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally rewiring your brain. So it's not going to be easy.
Well, DZ is easy because it rhymes, But anyway.
and greasy.
No. No. All right, we're about wrapped up here, but how can everyone find you on social media? I mean, you're already pretty big on social media as it is, but how can we find you on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch?
Yeah, it's DZMTG on all things except Twitch. There's an underscore between DZ and MTG, which I want to change. Hopefully, if I get approved for partner next time, it'll just be DZMTG on all platforms. But if you look up DZMTG, you should be able to find it on everything.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the first episode of StreamCast, DZMTG. I really do appreciate you coming, for real.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be the first guest. I actually I literally feel honored. I'm definitely appreciated, man. I'm looking forward to checking out the future episodes, see who else you get on here.
I have them all.
I'm super excited, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I have over 50 of them already wanting an episode.
Nice, dude.
Yep.
Nice. Heck
And
yeah.
since this is going to be every week, hopefully every Saturday, and I'll have it up on Sunday, but it'll be every week, and I have almost a whole year filled. So I'm very, very excited about that. So if you like this kind of content with learning about your favorite streamers, please keep episode 2 in mind, because that will be next week. But thank you very much once again, DZ, for taking the time to come on the show, and we will see you all for the next Streamcast in 1 week.